Good morning and welcome back to PSA TV. This is Eye on Labour segment. I'm Avalon Williams. Thanks for joining us here again at PSA TV here. Our phone lines are open for persons that want to call. That number is 7705295. We were just chatting with the corporate secretary for the Fishermen and Friends of the Sea, Mr. Gary Aboud. Hello? Hello? Hi, caller, morning.
Hello, yes, hello.
Hi, morning.
Yes, morning. This is Boxer Potts. I'm calling all the way from New York. I always tune into the station.
Good morning,
almost
Boxer.
every morning.
Yeah, I've been seeing your comments on the page as well this morning. Thanks.
Yeah. I always tune in because I believe that the station can help with the development of the working class of Trinidad and Tobago. Mm-hmm. Although I am not I'm not an employed person. I create employment for myself. I hate the idea of being employed by anyone, because sometimes when people employ you, they want you to push their agenda, which is not in keeping with helping with the growth and development of human beings or mankind. Mm-hmm. So that said, I like to create jobs for myself. I have entrepreneurial skill where I try to create create jobs to make a living for myself, and those are wrong. But having said that, mm-hmm. I would like to think that somebody maybe in your establishment need to get on the phones or on the or email all the membership and all of the trade union movement should send an email or a text to all their membership mm-hmm. to tune into this station and have an opinion. There are three groups of people in this world: those who do things, those who do nothing, and those who talk about things. And if you do nothing, you will have nothing to talk about. So I'm urging the public, which is the masses of Trinidad and Tobago, mm-hmm. to get a voice. Get a voice and have a say in the operation of your country. If you do not have a say, then other people will have one for you. Your silence is deafening to your detriment and not to your benefit. So you must come out and have a say on behalf of the development of your country. And here is someone providing a medium, providing a station for you to get on, to have a say and have a voice, and you are not utilizing it. Mm-hmm. You the working public have a great opportunity to have this voice by extension of us, this medium, and yet I am not hearing you. To me, I find that you are doing a disservice to yourself and your country. You, the working public, all trade union stations supposed to come together on this occasion to get their voice out there, to get the message. I mean, I'm hearing Mr. Gary Aboud, and he's very vociferous in most areas, mm-hmm. and he's very opinionated, and he's a guy that's born with an opinion, and people don't like people who are born with an opinion. You must have the controllers of the world like to have people who they could think for. You know, most of the controllers of the world believe they are the shepherd, and the people, the masses are sheep. Well, hear what? This ain't no sheep talking here. This is a shepherd. Mm-hmm. So that said, Avi, I would like to tell Mr. Watson Duke this morning. This is a time that the people need to hear you. The people need to hear you. You can speak and speak out whilst being measured and circumspect with your language. There is a way that you can speak. You don't have to speak about anything that would sound seditious, but you must still allow your voice to be heard. What is done to you is it's to silence you, and you have bought into the silencing of yourself, and you have gone cold in the last couple of weeks since you have been arrested for the Sedition Act. Now is the time for you to speak. The people want to hear from you, Watson. So speak up and let your voice be heard. On this station, on press conferences, in Tobago, on your platform, on your political forum, wherever it is, speak up. People are waiting. People want to hear from you. And by the way, people like brave leaders. do not show any form of cowardness. When they say when the going get tough, tough get going. Well, you be the tough and get going. I am. I'm listening to all the political discourse on both sides, and the politicians must understand. Trinidad and Tobago, we have a very emotional voting community. The UNC have their voting block, as I would call it. The PNM have their voting block. The wider community who don't vote have a bigger say. And every time the wider community get agitated enough by a government, by any government in power, you know what they do? They vote you out. In this country, people like to vote out government when the government aggravate them. So you who are in power, write to your people. You who aspire to office, when you get there, do even more right. Don't talk a talk like you're talking. Serve the people, serve the people, serve the people. And when some of your soldiers get there, some of your ministers, some of your MP, they get there and they start serving in the name of you, the server. Ms. Kamala Persad Bissessar, your mantra was serve the people, serve the people, serve the people. And you have put a lot of the servers in your last dispensation, so that you had to fire a lot of them. So you yourself saying that they were the servers. Look at the Kitwelli administration. He's hardly firing anybody. As a matter of fact, before he even tried to fire Darrell Smith, he moved him. He put him in housing. He tried to save him. And look what happened. Darrell couldn't save himself. He's saying to you that he's not firing anyone. A man get drunk inside a Zen. A man come out of Zen with a higher level of alcohol in him that he's supposed to be sitting behind a wheel. And you fire him. Under this administration, a man went to court and found guilty of being drunk and driving. And he still sits in the parliament. It is a different, and you know what? Somehow Dr. Rowley find a way to defend that position, or maybe don't defend it at all. But you, Ms. Persad Bissessar, what you do, you fire people. That is not how you lead. You call your soldiers in, your aggrieved soldiers, your exposed soldiers. Glenn Ramadas Singh, it is alleged that he was gesticulating with his hand on a plane. It is alleged that he was a bit tipsy. And it is a fact that he loses balance and his hand may have touched a woman on her chest or her breast unintentionally. It was blown out of proportion. And you know what? He was fired. You know what, Kamala? You didn't listen to the whole story. That story was your minister was speaking. He was gesticulating. Maybe he was tipsy. He definitely lost his balance and his hand ended up on the woman's breast. Unintentional. You know what? It ended up in the public domain where Glenn grabbed the woman's breast and you fire him. You was wrong on that occasion. You were wrong. It ended up where a minister was found to be tipsy behind his wheel, he went and sit behind the wheel. I don't think the man drive off. And the police pounced on him and they charge him for drunk and driving or drunk and sitting behind his wheel. We need to get more information on that. And you need to revisit why you fired that young politician. But here is you have politicians around you who constantly and repeatedly undermine you. And you take them and you put them back in a position. People are asking those questions, why are these people constantly undermining you and you keep favoring them? You have a politician as Fuad Khan on the East-West Corridor, who is, by the way, the love of the people of the East-West Corridor. And he's constantly been challenged to hold on to his position. Well, if you move him, you will move your whole voting block on the East-West Corridor. And I'm saying that to you, and I hope somebody take this tape and share it to you. I think one of your OJT 10 days wannabe minister, a fellow by the name of Brent Sancho. He's always listening to this show. So let me take this tape and send it to you. And you need to know that the East-West corridor do not want him. They're going to send you a message if you put him up. So you better send him, put him if you want him in your government. They will need as a chairman or something, not an MP. Because you're ground soldiers. Listen, I worked, and I'm saying this, I worked to put Arnold Roberts in office. By extension of a bunch of soldiers. Brent Sancho never worked a day to put anybody in office, to put himself in office. You come in and you meet the soldiers who put a government in office. And you know what you did? You went the other way and satisfied the needs of all your friends and disenfranchised the soldiers.
Mr.
The ground
Boxer-Pot,
soldiers are now saying, yes.
I know you have a lot of to bring to the fore.
The ground soldiers are saying that they do not want such an MP to disenfranchise them anymore. So get some new faces if you want to get in government.
Okay.
And I read Kenali the other day. And Kenali, you should read what Kenali said. What a dogged, durable, bare-knuckle street fighter Dr. Rowley is. And he's not an ordinary person to go up against. So you must know how to fight that kind of fight. And to fight that kind of fighter, it must not be a lot of pettiness in you. You must be strategic in planning your fight, like I do when I have a good fighter going into a fight. I know you said I've set him up, and I thank you for giving me a voice on this platform this morning.
Thank you so much for calling in, Mr. Potts. Have a great day. Good morning and welcome back to PSA TV. This is Eye on Labour segment. Our phone lines are open to take any phone calls. We're just gonna listen to hear what's happening on the ground throughout Trinidad and Tobago. That number you can reach us at 770-5295. Hi, good morning. Hello.
Hi, I'm calling from the lovely island of Tobago.
Good morning, Tobago. How are you today?
Stressed.
How is the island? How is the weather over there today?
The weather is quite beautiful. Sunny. It's a very sunny disposition. But outside of that, it is problems.
Problems, yeah.
We cannot see our way across here. Problems after problems after problems.
What's happening in Tobago currently?
Currently, we have issues in terms of health. We have issues in terms of education. Things are just not going right. There continues to be issues in terms of the transport system. Like I said, problems after problems after problems.
Are any of these problems being rectified?
It has been almost 4 years. The transportation issue remains as is. Nothing has changed. As a matter of fact, I shouldn't say nothing has changed. It has gotten from bad to worse. Secretaries are there, and they just seem to be twiddling their thumbs while the horse has bolted from the stable. Right?
Well, I'm sorry to hear that part of it with the transportation system, though. I hope you all get a resolution to that issue. You also touched on health and education. What's happening on that side of it?
Okay, so let me deal with education first and foremost. We would have had just about 8 weeks worth of vacation, and we're in a situation now where Signal Hill School as well as Mason Hall Secondary School are without chairs and desks, and in some cases teachers to provide the necessary education for which taxes are continuously taken from persons' salaries, said public servants who have been called all kinds of names, said teachers who have been called all kinds of names, and these things are not being provided. Yet, we have the secretary or the chief secretary whose responsibilities it is also for education, again sitting saying all kinds of things that does not make any sense whatsoever. And these children are there without getting the education that they're supposed to. Now, how does one deal with that? Knowing that you provide for your children every day, you provide the necessary school books that cost you a pretty sum, and the children are not getting the education that they're supposed to because they cannot be comfortable sitting either on the floor or sharing a desk with somebody else in order to get the necessary things done. When people protest, they are being called as, all kinds of names. All kinds of names because they protest for the right things.
Any other concerns?
Oh, definitely. I think my pet peeve has to be health.
Health.
It has to be health. Simply because it is getting from, I had used the term before, bad to worse.
Yeah.
It's from worse to worser, if I should use that word. Right? Now what we have is somebody who sits at the helms and dictates to what I would call her minions down below as to what is happening or what should happen without any serious discussion with the real persons who actually do the job. What we have now that is being built now, in addition to what she has started in Roxborough or attempted to do in Roxborough, is a blue and pink room.
Right. I've heard of that.
Yes. Right. And while this is happening, she continues to pay no mind to the outstanding debts, this being gratuities as well as allowances that should have been paid to the said public servants or said workers who are now working without tools, who are working in facilities that are not conducive towards health, albeit not only physical health, but mental health as well. Right? They're not getting what is due to them. And we still have people being exposed to radiation because we can only use, at this point in time, what is called a portable machine.
Right.
This is absolute craziness. Absolute craziness. We then had I'm of the opinion now that we have just about 10 months of March, because since March, persons were supposed to be paid their gratuity. Nothing has come of it. Nobody has communicated with these members of staff to say when they're going to be paid, how they're going to be paid, whether it's in bonds, whether it's in flyers. Nobody has any idea as to what is happening where that is concerned. If I'm not mistaken, the air conditioning unit is in surgical ward. It is still running down, as well as persons being also exposed in the theater where the air conditioning unit is also not working as it's supposed to. The lab, reagents to do testing, major testing, they cannot have a supply. Why is all this happening? Why is the Secretary for Health having health in this condition? And if I'm not mistaken, she's called a doctor, not so?
Is that Dr. Carrington?
Right. So yes. And doctors are supposed to be the ones who make you well.
Yeah.
Why is this status of disrepair and this health being forced upon Tobagonians? Why is that being done? Somebody has to give us answers.
I've been speaking with Tobagonians, a lot. I always release stories over on your side. And some of them have said that, they feel forgotten and lost. Do you feel the same way?
I feel totally disrespected as a Tobagonian.
Why is that though?
And this is because it just seems that the two persons at the helm, Keith, let me be a little bit respectful, Dr. Keith Rowley and Mr. Kelvin Charles, Prime Minister, and Chief Secretary, are like members of that movie called Dumb and Dumber. Nothing is being done for the average Tobagonian to ensure that the status of life is increased in some form or format. It is going from beyond stupid to the ridiculous. Imagine you have a boat that came into Trinidad that is to help persons who have issues in terms of health. Has the boat come to Tobago? No.
Is that
So
the U.S.
several things.
Is that the U.S. ship you're referring to that came to Trinidad and
Yes.
helped probably about 5,000 persons?
Yes.
So
Right?
Tobagonians were not offered to any of these services?
Up
Is
to
that what you're
present,
saying?
the boat has not docked in Tobago, and perhaps it should not have. I'm only saying.
Right.
But my issue is, where was the invitation? Where was the invitation for the average Tobagonian who has a health issue, which is not being provided in Tobago, to come to have this done? And more than that, why didn't the boat dock in Tobago first to
Right.
give Tobagonians who have the issue in terms of transport to be given the opportunity to be seen first? Why has Tobago always been seen as the bastard child when our national anthem says, side by side we stand? And beyond that, our emblem says, together we aspire, together we achieve. Why are we always behind? It's 57 years now, and we are still playing catch up. Why?
Oh, I think we lost that caller there from Tobago. If it's possible, he can probably call back where we can just finish that discussion with him. We just lost him there on the phone. So we're going to just take a short break and come back and see if he can probably call back to finish his conversation on a U.S. ship that was here docked in Trinidad, offering medical services to citizens, but not Tobago. So stay tuned for more. This is Ion Neighbor. We just had a little technical problem there with the phone line, but our phone lines are open to everyone if that caller from Tobago could reach us back. But by the meantime, as we go through one of today's daily newspaper, you can catch all your stories and more, and also at PSA TV whenever you want to hear what's happening with labor or anything. Just go back on our Facebook page. We're also streaming live on YouTube and Twitter and Instagram. I think we have someone on the line. Do we have someone on the line? Hello?
Hi, good morning, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, hi.
Hi, I got a little bit cut off there.
This is Tobago, right? Okay.
This is Tobago.
Yeah,
Yes,
sorry
yes.
about that. Sorry about
So-
that. You were just talking
Things
about
happen.
a U.S. medical ship that was in Trinidad but never docked in Tobago.
Yes, I was. So it's a continued disrespect to Tobagonians. It's a continued disrespect. Everything that happens there. And this is no disrespect to the Trinidadians at all. I'm just saying that we are a country of equal opportunity. And if we have to ensure that everything goes the way that it should, we have to give the Tobagonian person, the average Tobagonian person, the opportunity that the average Trinidadian person has. That is my take with regards to this.
I probably, it wasn't intentionally for Tobago to be left out, and not get medical treatment as well. But I'm sure our Prime Minister will probably, come out and say something about that, because he's actually from Tobago, and I could hear the frustration in your voice.
You see, the thing about it is he would say something, but if it amounts to anything, that is the thing that would make any difference. I don't think that he has the moral authority at this point in time to talk on our behalf, because most of what he's saying right about now is in tune with what the cabal, or the new cabal for that matter, is purporting. In my opinion, it's a eat food gang mixed up with minions, a set of blind people leading other blind people, which they would have dug a pit for Mr. Duke and others who are fighting for the rights of persons who are legitimately in need. And that is the pit that they are going to fall in, because election time is coming near, and persons, particularly Tobagonians, have a way that they remember things. And when you treat their brother the way that Mr. Duke has been treated, they tend to send you type of signal that either wakes you up or lets you understand that you need to get on board and get real.
So are you saying that Tobagonians are upset with the treatment that Mr. Duke has gotten regarding this whole Sedition Act?
what is very interesting is that not only are Tobagonians incensed with regards to this, a lot of Trinidadians who for several reasons, of their own would have come out in support of Mr. Duke. When prior to this, he would have been the person that they saw as the person who was making one set of mischief. But a lot of them are seeing this government and the governance in Tobago for what it is. It is nothing but a sham. Nothing but a sham. Nothing that they would have purported and come to the public with when it was election is what they would have come to fruition. As the name TNM or the symbol TNM stands for, promises never materialize. That is what is happening here today.
I'm sure closer down, something will just suddenly pop up and Tobagonians will be treated equally as Trinidadians as well. So let's just not stop there. There's hope, I'm sure.
Well, indeed. We have a wonderful village across here by the name of Hope. And that gives a lot of hope to Tobagonians. Right. The other thing that I'm hopeful of is this, that I would wish Double G, the great Gary Griffith, a lot of success with the real criminals. Right? But that activists and real hard-working persons must be left alone. Persons who are fighting for the rights of persons, of the citizenry of Trinidad and Tobago, who need to have real goods and services reach them, real money reach them so that they can see about their families and loved ones, that be done. Because you're going to tell me with all the intelligence that we have, or they have access to, SSA, or local CIA, whoever, that the big fish is still walking around in this small pond, and dry land, normal, white and pretty color crime and criminals are rampant, but they have time to willingly look for a man who is fighting for the rights of workers and the workers' family to lock him up. With that intent, it is crazy. And I'm saying that something has to be done to level the playing field, because all that is happening at this point in time is that the younger persons, or the persons that are out there, who are fighting amongst themselves for the crumbs that is falling from the rich man's table. That is what is happening. That is no way to run a society. A society does not run this way. It's the have and the have-nots. There's no middle class anymore. Whether by design or whether by circumstance, this is what we have now in Trinidad and Tobago. God help us that we do not have a situation that, like what happened in Bahamas, we would not be able to fend for ourselves. Not with the thinking that they have above. There's no plan. There is no plan but to enrich themselves. And that is already a natural disaster for Trinidad and Tobago.
Thank you so much, Cole. I know we're pressed on time here as our show has come to an end this morning, and I just want to thank you for calling in on our program, and our lines are always open for you as well.
Thank you very much for the invitation. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Yeah.
I will continue to advocate for Tobago and Trinidad and Tobago by extension.
Thank you so much. Have a great day, sir.
Yeah.
So that was Tobago on the line there. They have a lot of concerns, they're feeling they have just forgotten. But I'm sure there are great things ahead for Tobagonians on that end. We have come to the end of today's program. Remember, our phone lines are open throughout the program, so you can always feel free to call. It's on our screen, as you can see. You can send in any news stories that you could use, send it to our email page, or you can just send it via our Facebook. We are also on Instagram and Twitter as well, and YouTube. You can stream and pull back any of the videos you'd like to take a look at. And on that note, we have come to the end of today's program. I want to thank all the viewers and listeners who have been tuning in with us here every morning at the PSA, and to also all our engineers behind the scene who's been here every day pushing the show forward for all our members. And that's it for us here today at PSA TV. Stay tuned for tomorrow's program.